Hi, today I'd like to talk about cycling shoes and how to choose the best one for you. But first, I would like to start with my first ever road cycling shoes. I would like to stress that I will be talking about road shoes and pedals now. So yeah, most traditional cycling shoes look a lot like this. Some straps, buckles, or boa dials nowadays. If you look at the shoe itself, it's quite small, it's a size 42, but on the outside it's quite big and bulky and not very light and not very aerodynamic. The comfort is quite good. These ones, they have a carbon sole which has quite a shallow depth, so that's good if you want low stack height, but I don't think that's too important. But then I decided to switch something different, something from a more well-known brand, so I choose Shimano RS 321 shoes, which are essentially quite similar to these, but they are even bigger, even bulkier, even heavier, but the sole is a lot stiffer and it had a lot of other comfortable features, but it wasn't too much of an improvement, so I decided to search even further, and that's when I started getting my head around lace-up shoes, and I like them for numerous reasons. First, they are extremely light. I think these Giros, quite an old model now, but still one of the lightest shoes on the market without sacrificing any other feature. And the second thing I really liked about them is how sleek and streamlined they are, which is again good for aerodynamics, but also if you compare the aesthetics, I think the Giro definitely gets the style points. So what are the other benefits I found about lace-up shoes, because these definitely, as you can see, are my favorite. So what do you get with laces? Well, you can't really break them, you can't really, if you do them properly, you can't really undo them while riding, as these can just flap about. Again, if you crash, you can break these. You can see I've crashed multiple times with these Giros, but there's nothing to break, so nothing will break once it's low. So we got lightweight, super stiff sole, by the way, made by Easton, but I think all modern cycling shoes nowadays are stiff enough. These also have really low stack height. It's not much of a concern or benefit for me, but maybe some riders will need that in their fit. And the comfort is also really good. Obviously, with laces you have much more adjustment than basically in standard shoe, 2, 3, maybe 4 points of adjustment. With laces, you can adjust the individual tightness quite in a broad range, which makes them ideal if you suffer from hot feet. And most high-end lace-up shoes also have some really nice quality laces, so they don't undo themselves and they don't stretch over times while you're riding, so you never really need to adjust the fit, because that's the main concern for most riders with lace-up shoes, is that, well, how do you adjust them while riding on the bike? Well, you don't have to. If you get it right, in a couple of rides you learn how to get it spot on for the first time, and you're good to go. It's not a difficult thing to tie your shoes, really. Maybe unless you're in kindergarten, then it's a different story, but then you wouldn't be watching this video. Okay, so I really like these Giros. I wanted to try the S-Work Sub 6s really much, because they should be even more aerodynamic. They're a bit heavier, you can feel that just by comparing them, but even though they might look similar, they're completely different animals. The Giro is like a house slipper, not very tight fitting, really comfy, even though they took a really long time to actually break in properly, but I don't know if that's negative, but definitely worth considering. In the first couple of rides I had quite a lot of discomfort, but now the material is extremely pliable, so good points for there. While on the other hand, the S-Works are racing shoes, and that's what I use them for. I use the Giros in training and the S-Works for racing now, because they have this super tight heel called the padlock, and it has a lot of support and extremely tight fit. I have reasonably narrow ankles, so I really like that. I get no heel lift, really excellent stability, but on the other hand you still get plenty of comfort because the front end of the shoe is really wide. The design is even more streamlined. They both have kind of a perforated finish, so breathability is excellent, although I found that when it's a bit cooler you need to put on a little thicker overshoes for the same conditions like a pair of these, so that might be an issue if you ride in really cold weather. So overall I would say the S-Works are a better shoe, but still the Giros are excellent. If you compare them to their relative high-end counterparts, they are cheaper, lighter, more aerodynamic, and probably more long-lasting as well, because there's nothing to wear out, and if the laces wear out you can buy laces anywhere. Not so true for Boadals, so it's a rare thing that a product combines all these attributes, and that's why I chose lace-up shoes for my riding. And of course I think they look cool, which is another interesting point for cycling. Maybe if you take some other considerations like CD, Gaerne, all these high-end brands, Bond for example, I don't like them because they're all basically the same and have been for years. Big, bulky shoes with lots of straps, ratchets, Boadals, anything. I don't know, I don't like that. I like simplicity and function, so that's why I choose lace-up shoes. Well, are these the ideal shoes then? They're close, but they're not. I don't know exactly why, but these days nobody seems to do proper speedway specific shoes, and that's my only gripe with these. If these were speedway specific, the 4-bolt cleat mounting system, then yeah, the best shoe on the market, bar none, no complaints. But still excellent products, both the Giro and the Specialized, different kinds of fit. I like both, but for the Specialized they were spot on from the first kilometer, no problems at all, more secure and more comfortable as well. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up. That's my opinion on road shoes. Also, one more thing that comes to my mind. Should you use multiple shoes like I do? Well, yes and no. If you use speedway cleats and pedals, then you can adjust them spot on completely to the exact dimensions without any fitting jig, just by measuring and looking at your cleats. While with the Shimano or look style, whatever other pedal design, you just can't. You have to put them in the fitting jig to really measure everything up, because if you change one thing on this cleat, the whole thing just wiggles around. You adjust everything at the same time, so yeah, that could make it a bit more complicated. But later on I will do another video about how to set up your speedway cleats in 2 different shoes to feel exactly the same. Okay, so I think that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to tune into my channel and see some other ones about tech related stuff, high-end cycling stuff. And maybe subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.